everybody, welcome back. My name is Alyssa and this is Into the Heart Wild. And today I am bringing you guys my November possible TBR. In this month of November, I have decided to take part in the never-ending NetGalley challenge of NetGalley November. I will have their socials linked below, but basically you just spend the month of November working to get caught up on your NetGalley arcs. And considering I have not read an arc, well, I actually read 2 arcs last month, but prior to that, the last time I read an arc I think was like April. Yeah. I do not have like hundreds of arcs, thankfully, on NetGalley because I do have a sense of self-control. I also have a best friend who yells at me when I get out of control on NetGalley, which is why I have a sense of control, because it's in the form of someone else. And she has made sure that I have not been requesting any, so thank you to her. But I have about 20-ish arcs that I am behind on. I do believe I have one arc that is like set for this month to come out. But pretty much all of them are late. So, but like I said, I have not been requesting any new ones. There also just really hasn't been anything on NetGalley that has like caught my attention except for The Voyage of the Forgotten. But because I was so behind, I did not request it. Because I have 20 of them, obviously I'm not going to get through all 20 of them, but there are a few specific ones that I would hopefully like to get to. So I'll just go over those. I'm not gonna, I have my list right here. Some of them are, there's 2 that are actually like a year old. So yeah, a little behind. Some of them I'll just do like a quick little like thing or whatever, and the ones that I want to like focus on, I will let you guys know. So let's just start. So the first one is called A Blade Through Time by Lewis Coleman. This is one I am actually in the middle of reading right now. I am about 12% into it. It's not going well. I'm gonna be honest. It's not going well. Like the first 9%, really good, lots of action, really captivating. Now I'm just like, what? I'm not understanding the positions of people, the gods. Like there's so many like hierarchy systems, and I'm just kind of like, huh? And then this kid just keeps talking about philosophical stuff and like working with philosophers, and I'm like, what? I'm just like bored, honestly. And I'm only 12% into it, so I like to try and give books at least a 30% chance before I DNF them, depending on their length. And this is like a full, I think it's like 300 something pages. So I'm trying to give it a little bit more time, but I am struggling. Basically, it's about a teen who's 16, not 6. He dies. He's murdered, and in the process of being murdered, he finds out he can manipulate time, which is kind of cool. So far, I don't like the presentation of how he manipulates time because it's kind of boring, honestly. He just kind of like tells us, oh, I redid that scene. Oh, I redid that event. And I'm like, can I see you redo it? So I'm having some issues and some struggles with it, but yeah. One of the other ones is Oscar from Elsewhere by Jacqueline Moriarty. It's a middle grade book. There's also Goblin Market, Diane Zayler, another middle grade book. And then The Secret in the Tower, that's by Andrew Beatty. That's another middle grade book. I don't know if I'm going to be putting those as a priority right now because I did just read like a ton of them. One of the next ones that I would like to prioritize, because I should actually be getting a Goldsboro version of this one this month, I do believe, because I know next month is an Adrian book, and it is called The Immortality Thief by Taryn Hunt. I would like to prioritize this one. I actually just grabbed it on a whim because I am auto approved for Rebellion, so I can just kind of like grab any of their books. This was one that I grabbed because I was like, oh, I want to read more sci-fi. But I will read you guys the synopsis because I actually never read it. So I guess we'll find out together what this book is about. Far off on the edge of human existence, besides a dying star, lies a nameless ship, abandoned and hidden, lost for a millennium, but there are secrets there, terrible secrets that would change the fate of humanity, and eventually someone will come looking. That's just one paragraph. Refugee, criminal, and linguist Sean Wren is made an offer he knows he can't refuse. Life in prison, voluntary military service, or salvaging data in a long-dead language from an abandoned ship filled with traps and monsters just days before it's destroyed in a supernova. Data connected to the Philosopher's Stone experiments into unlocking the secrets of immortality. And he's not the only one looking for the derelict ship. The ministers, mysterious, undying aliens that have ruled over humanity for centuries, want the data, as does the Republic, humanity's last free government, and time is running out. In the bowels of the derelict ship, surrounded by horrors and dead men, Sean slowly uncovers the truth of what happened on the ship in its final days and the terrible secret it's hiding. This sounds so good, you guys. You see, this is what happens when I just grab stuff. I just end up with books that sound really good. So yeah, definitely going to be moving that one. Like, definitely going to be trying to get to that one. Next one that I would like to get to is The Liar of Red Valley by Walter Goodwater. This was one where I picked up because I liked the title. A Liar in Red Valley. Okay, let's see what are you doing? So, don't trust the liar. Do not cross the king. Never ever go in the river. Why? What's wrong with the river? Also, I wouldn't cross the king either. In Red Valley, California, I live in California. You follow the rules if you want to stay alive, but they won't be enough to protect Sadie now that she's become the liar, the keeper of the town's many secrets. Friendships are hard won here, and it isn't safe to make enemies. And though the liar has power to remake the world with just a little blood, what Sadie really needs is answers. Why is the town's sheriff after her? What does the king want from her? And what is the real purpose of the Liar of the Red Valley? I need to know too. What's their purpose? What is their purpose? Also, I was not expecting a story set in like California. Like, it's not, most of the time I avoid books that are set in America. I just don't find them interesting. So yeah. But that's one of the ones I would like to prioritize. Then I have Just Like Mother and Hetzel by Anne Hiltzel. It's a horror book. Then we have The Knave of Secrets by Alex Livingston. This was one where it actually went through a cover change before it was released. And I have to say the new cover is much better, but this is one that I would like to maybe prioritize. It's around there. So, never stake more than you can afford to lose. When failed magician turned card sharp Valen Quinnell is given the chance to play in the Forbearance Game, the invitation-only tournament where players gamble with secrets he can't resist, or refuse for that matter, according to the petty gangster sponsoring his seat at the table. Valen beats the man he was sent to play and wins the most valuable secret ever staked in the history of the tournament. Now Valen and his motley crew are being hunted by thieves, gangsters, spies, and wizards. All with their own reason for wanting what's in the envelope. It's a game of nations where Valen doesn't know all the rules or who all the players are and can't see all the moves. But he does know if the secret falls into the wrong hands, it could plunge the whole world into war. What? Okay. Okay. Then after that we have Sundial by Katrina Ward. It's a horror book. It's got a great cover. Don't know if I'm going to be getting to it though. It's not one of the ones that's like high up on my priority list. After that I have In the Serpent's Wake by Rachel Hartman. This is definitely on like my, I have to get to this. I have to, because this is the follow-up to Tess of the Road by Rachel Hartman, which is in the same world as her Serafina story, but I absolutely fell in love with Tess of the Road. I fell in love with Tess's character. Tess's story broke my heart. It is not often that I really love YA books because I do struggle with them, but Tess of the Road, ooh, it was perfect. It was everything I was looking for in a YA book. And now there's a follow-up story, and I'm like, I have to know where her journey takes her next. So yeah, initially when I had been approved for it, I had gotten super excited, and then a bunch of stuff happened in life and I never got to get to it. So I would definitely like to prioritize that because I would like to know what is going on in Tess's journey. After that, I have another one called This Last Adventure by Ryan Dalton, a middle grade book. I have read half of it at the beginning of the year, and I do pretty much remember it, but the boy's father is grandfather is losing his memory. He has Alzheimer's, and he's losing his memory, and they use stories to try and remind him and make him remember everybody. It had a couple parts in it in the beginning where I was like, oh, this is so sad. But I haven't finished it, not because I wasn't liking it, just a bunch of stuff came up. A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. This was like a cover grab, but it's not high up on my priority list because it is a YA book, and like I just said a little bit ago, I do struggle with YA, so we'll see. Next one, which is one that I am actually reading right now because I own the Goldsboro version, The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. Yes, I had an arc for this one. I had an arc for this and I never read it. And honestly, I am 12% into this so far and I am loving it so far. And I'm like, oh, why did I not read my arc when I got it? What am I doing? But the magic that Von Vault has, this Emperor's voice, I've only seen it in action twice now, and I'm like, more. Are you gonna show me that some more? So yeah, 12%, and I'm already like, yes. So I have a feeling this is going to be a 5-star read for me. I really do. I feel like I'm really going to just love this entire book, and I can already say that unless Von Vault's character drastically changes throughout this book, where he's at right now, being a patient slash maybe kind of a little bit grumpy older man, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. So that one is very high priority since I am already reading it. After that, I have Obsidian, which is the next like high priority one. Because I want to say there's like 5 priority books on here. But this one is, it's been so long I don't remember what it's about. I know it's an angry robot book, and I do like a lot of their stuff they produce. So, Shade Knox is the only witch in the land of wizards, a fiend, a rogue, a wanted criminal. Defying those who think her an abomination, Shade wears her tattoos openly and carries obsidian blades at her hips. For years, she has protected the outcast clans who wandered the blighted wastes. But the land is growing more unstable and her blades are no longer enough. To save her people, Shade vows to raise a veil of protection, a feat not accomplished in over 100 years, but the magical veils are said to belong to the Brotherhood Church. If she succeeds in raising one, it will expose their lies. They swear to see her obliterated first. Treading a dangerous path, where allies can be as deceitful as enemies and where demons lurk in the shadows, Shade chases a vision which could lead her to people's salvation or her own destruction. You know, I'm not one for really liking stories that have female main characters. That's a topic for a different day, everybody. But that actually sounds really good. And now that I've reread it, I remember why I picked it up, because I'm like, okay, this sounds like a main female character that I might actually like. So, yes. So these last 4 are not a high priority, but I will go ahead and tell you guys, because in the off chance that I do decide to read them, you guys will at least have heard about them. I have Shackled Fates as well as Northern Wrath, both by Tilda Cold Holt. These are Norse inspired. I remember because Northern Wrath is number 1 and Shackled Fates is number 2. I did read like the first like 20% of Northern Wrath and I was like super liking it. And I don't remember why I stopped. For that, I have The Fallen Guardian by Anthony Cavallea. This was one where this is the oldest one on my NetGalley list. And I had initially started reading it when I had initially gotten it a year ago, and I was struggling with the presentation of certain information being repeated numerous times. So I stopped, but I want to try giving it another chance and seeing what happens. So, and then after that, the other book that I have is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. And I have been told that I should prioritize this one because Heart of the Sun Warrior book 2 comes out next month. Or is this month? I think it's this month. But I don't know yet. We will see. It is one that I do want to read because I believe it is based on Chang'e, the moon goddess in Chinese mythology, I believe. So And I do find that particular story to be very interesting. So I don't know if I'm going to get to that one though, since it's not high on my priority list. So we shall see what happens. But those are all of the books that are like my tentative TBR for November, because that's everything I have on my neck alley. That is everything right there. So yeah. So have you read any of these books? If you have, give me your opinions. Like, what should I read? I'm pretty sure none of you have read the middle grade books. But yeah, if you've read any of these, if you have any comments, do any of these sound interesting? Should I read synopsises again? Was that a good thing, a bad thing? Let me know. And like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.